Hey guys, welcome to my announcement video for the first and potentially annual, we will see how it goes, Cozy Cottage Readathon. I knew I wanted to host a readathon in October because I just love that month, but I had no idea what I wanted to do, so huge shout out to all of those on my Patreon that helped me figure this out because they threw out a bunch of ideas and I have taken some of them and I've just run with them. And for the month of October, if you are joining in on this readathon, we are going to be imagining that we are at a cozy cottage. Maybe some of you actually have a cozy cottage and this takes less imagination than the rest of us. But we're going to be imagining we are there. There is going to be a giveaway because I love adding giveaways to my readathons and reading challenges. So stay tuned for those details. But October is all about being cozy, pretending we are sitting at a fireplace at a cottage. I'm going to be taking this idea and like really adding it into my life in October. I plan on making a Pinterest board for this readathon, which I will probably share in an upcoming newsletter. So make sure if you're not already subscribed, you subscribe to my newsletter. And my wallpaper, my desktop wallpaper that I make for October, I already know it's going to be inspired somehow, in some way, by this readathon. Also, you can sign up for my newsletter and you'll get access to that. In addition to the readathon that I'll be talking about in October, this is my like pre-announcement. I have plans to host a reading retreat, kind of going along these vibes. The people that are on my Patreon are going to get the announcement first, so they'll get it a couple days ahead of time. They'll be able to sign up first, and then I will put it up on YouTube for you guys to find out the info. I don't have it all nailed down yet. I was kind of hoping I could announce it today as well, but those details will be forthcoming in the future. Okay, so I made a list of prompts, and these prompts are doing double time in the way that you can pick and choose here. You don't have to do all of these, but you can do the actual prompt, or you can take the prompt and read a book based off of it, which I will explain exactly what I mean here as we go. But each prompt will have a physical thing you can do, as well as take that prompt and read a book based off of it. The only thing is, for the reading prompts, you have to pick a different book each time. You cannot use the same book. And for the physical prompts, they have to be done at different times. This will make more sense as we go. The nice thing about living in Canada is that autumn comes early because we are so far north, and the air already feels like autumn. Even if the days are warm, by the evening there's a cold breeze coming in, and I am like so ready for this readathon. If you like cozy autumnal vlog type things, I'm going to be sharing pretty much all the vlogs in the future over on my personal channel. I know I've often done reading vlogs separate. I'm just gonna move them over for a while, try it out, see if that works. So there'll be some life stuff, some book stuff, and coming up, lots of cozy autumnal stuff. So my personal channel will be linked below. Now let's get into the prompts. So like I said, there is a prompt that you can do the physical thing or do the bookish thing, or both, and you will get an entry for each one. So we are imagining we are at this cozy cottage, and one, you can imagine that it is a rainy day. So you could honestly read a book on a rainy day, and that will give you one entry into the giveaway. And how do you enter? I will have a link that I will put up in the description of this video starting on October 1st, where you can go fill out the form and say which thing you've completed. So that will start October 1st because all these books need to be read in the month of October. So one, just read a book, any book, on a rainy day. You could also take this rainy prompt and incorporate that somehow into your book. So maybe the book has the word rain in the title. Maybe there's rain involved in the book. Maybe there's rain on the cover. Take it kind of how you want. Maybe when you think rain, you think like scary and mystery or something like that, dark, because it would be like an overcast day. So you can, I'm really letting you like play with this, but just think about cozy and rainy and then take it wherever you want. The second prompt is to read next to the fireplace. So you can physically read next to the fireplace. Unfortunately, we sold all of ours when we moved. So I was thinking you could also read next to the fireplace channel. I mean, you got to do what works. Plus, if you are someone that lives where it's warm, you probably don't want to actually read next to the fireplace, but you can pretend by turning on the fireplace channel or finding a fireplace channel thing on YouTube. Read next to that. That's the physical prompt. And then for the book prompt, you can read something with the word fire in the title or on the cover. If you are a romance reader, maybe it could be something like that. You could think like heat. I don't know. I can't relate to like the romance reader stuff, but I could see how some of this could really work well with the romance genre. So just think about how you can make it work for a book. The third prompt is with a blanket. So you gotta read a book with a blanket. You could be under it or on top of it. So you could be doing like a picnic, or if you are cold, you could be underneath it, whatever works for your temperature wherever you are at. And then think about your book. It could have a blanket on it or have the title with a blanket. That just makes me honestly just like instantly I think of like Amish quilting books randomly. There's so many of those. Once again, anything like cozy and warm will work. Most of those words or vibes work for all of these. That's kind of the point of the readathon. Next, under the trees. So take a book, read under the trees. This makes me think of like nature prompts. So for your actual book, it could have nature on the cover, nature in the title, or like a lot of nature in it. This makes me think of L.M. Montgomery. A lot of her books would work really well. Any of the Anne books, the Story Girl books, she really likes to bring nature into her books. It could be a poetry book about nature. Lots of options there. Okay, so you're at your cozy cottage. You've just come back from being under the trees. Now we want some fresh baking, right? Like that is what I love to do in autumn is bake. It could be baking bread. It could be baking a sweet treat. You can bake for the physical prompt. And then for the book prompt, you could have some kind of baking on the title, in the title or on the cover, or there could be like a chef in the book so that baking and food is a big portion of it. It doesn't have to be baking specifically. Like I also think of soup and stuff like that. So food related. This also makes me think of all those kind of punny food mysteries that are available. You could read one of those. Mostly I think of things related with food if we're going to be doing that prompt. Next is to read in the dark. So just anytime when it's dark, read. And for the book prompt, I'm thinking anything dark, scary, mystery, thriller, that kind of thing. It could also have a dark cover or dark in the title. I think that one's pretty straightforward. Next is to read while you are on a hike. So probably an audiobook unless you can hike and read a physical book. But I kind of like to enjoy nature. So I'm thinking more audiobook, but do what works for you. So once again, you could use a book that includes a lot of nature. You could just read any kind of audiobook for this prompt. You could do a book that has to do with hiking. That makes me think of like nonfiction about hiking and walking. You guys are much more creative and think of a lot more ideas than I do. So those are just a few. And then the very last one is while drinking tea. Now, I am personally a hot cocoa person and I drink it year round, but that does seem more like a Christmas thing. Whereas I think like a cinnamon tea works well for the autumn. So you can drink tea for the physical prompt, and for the book prompt, it could have tea in the title or in the, like on the cover. But I also was thinking like short stories would work well for this because, I don't know, you take them like a sip at a time kind of idea. October's Agatha Christie that I'm going to be reading is The Mysterious Mr. Quinn, I think. Well, that's what I think it is, but of course I can't find it on my shelves right now. And if I'm right, that one is short stories, but also Agatha Christie has a lot of short stories. So you could do any kind of short story, or you could do like a mystery short story while you are drinking your tea. Sherlock would be really good. Anything Miss Marple, like the Miss Marple short stories, because they actually don't really talk a ton about her drinking tea, I don't think. But I feel like that's what she would be doing while she's sitting there knitting. And so those are all my prompts. You have options to do the physical prompt and or the book prompt. The books, you cannot use the same book for multiple prompts. They have to be different books. And for the physical prompts, I'm not gonna go there and time you guys. I'm not gonna like necessarily make you time yourself, but I would think you would probably be doing these things for like at least 15 minutes. Put a little bit of effort in. I want to give out a gift card, but I want to know that people like were actually involved a little bit. So like I said, in order to enter the giveaway, I will put up a link in the description of this video, October 1st. You can come anytime from October 1st until November 7th to fill in your entries. You get 1 entry per physical prompt and per book prompt. And you have to read the book in October, but I'll give you guys a week extra to put in your entries. And then I will be giving away a $25 gift certificate to Amazon or your online book shop of choice. As long as I can purchase a gift card, I would love to send one to you. So I think those are all the details for the Cozy Cottage Readathon. That is where I will be, probably not physically all month, but like mentally, that's where I'm going to be hanging out. I would love to hear if you guys plan on joining in. Do you have book ideas already for some of these prompts? I have not gone through and made my TBR yet. I wanted to share this video, see what other people are thinking, and then look at my shelves and see what I have that will fit. I'm hoping to do all the physical prompts and book prompts, but we'll see. I'm curious to know which ones are like maybe harder than others. So let me know if you're joining in, what you're reading, and I'm excited to host a fun readathon.